The Tangent Egg podcast is aimed at a mature audience. It contains themes that are not appropriate for all listeners. It's important to note that we are not experts. We routinely have no idea what we're talking about and are just three idiots sitting around a table. Listener discretion is advised.
Welcome to Tangent Egg podcast. I'm Seth, and as always with me are Swoosh and John Doe.
Hello!
Hi.
And unfortunately, it's going to be a bit of a rough start to the episode this week. Got a couple of
it's always a rough start for us. We don't do things good. Brain function.
It's shit news week.
So to start off, as we always do, which is I hate that that's a thing I can say that we
I
always
hate that
start
it's happening
this way.
so often that we can start every podcast with it.
Well, after last week's episode where we went through a fucking list of
Yeah,
of layoffs.
everything, like there's almost as many layoffs in this announcement, like it's half that previous list again in one announcement.
Yeah. So this one is that Microsoft has laid off 1,900 of Activision Xbox employees.
Did they give
Which
a
is
reason
fucking
for it?
nuts.
Well,
The usual stuff of we need to save money, change setups.
You know what's a really good way of saving money? Cutting down how much a CEO makes.
yeah, well that was one of the major comments from this. It's like, sure, if there's an overlap and those people are genuinely unnecessary, they're being made redundant.
Yeah.
Sure, that's one thing, but don't then turn around and give the fucking CEOs or the heads of it bonuses for cutting costs.
Yeah.
That's fucking dickish.
That means they're cutting costs to make those bonuses available. Like, that's fucked. I don't like
But
that.
it's also it's not just ActiBliz. Like that 1900 is just ActiBliz.
Yeah.
But in total, there's 8% of the overall Microsoft gaming division. That's going to be roughly 22,000 people.
Yeah. It's a huge fucking layoff. Which, again, is
Yeah.
going to saturate that market, and a lot of people are going to go hungry. Because we had that happen in Australia. Like, when we were finishing up our last year of university, all of us studied, like, to work in the games industry, the video games and that area. And the Yanks came across, shut down Pandemic, and released 200 plus experienced animators, programmers, game devs, all into an industry that could barely support the current industry going. So these guys were fighting for entry-level jobs, which then changed everything for us, because if you didn't have 4 years experience, you couldn't get a job.
I mean, it's a simple question. If you're a big studio and you want a good quality worker, who do you hire? The guy with multiple years in industry experience or the uni grad?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So there's about 3 iterations of like people from our uni and other unis who studied game design who have never worked in industry because there was no way to do it. You had to either make your own studio, which was fucking hard in Australia because the government refuses to give out any kind of help, or you had to be brought on by half-breeds.
They absolutely gutted the help they did have.
Yeah.
You thank Abbott for that.
Yeah, good one there. But it's fucked. And we've seen this happen, and we're just going to see that happen in America now.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
it's...
The only arguably upside is Microsoft is committed to paying out all required benefits and the whatnot. They're not just trying to, slice people out and fuck them off. They're paying all their redundancies and the whatnot, which is good.
I mean, they can afford it. But...
The thing,
it has brought up...
Sorry, good.
Sorry, I was going to say
It's
the only thing it
weird.
has really brought up is more of a drive for unionization in the games industry.
Yes.
100%.
That's
We don't have
one
a
major thing that it has brought up.
Yeah.
No,
But,
but
like,
it has all these layoffs have like strengthened the argument that we need they need a more of a unionized thing. So they can't just step in and go, right, we're going to fuck 500 of us off and good luck. Like,
Yeah. Like, because we, in Australia, I think we can slide in under, like, the entertainment guilds and that kind of stuff, but they don't care. Like, when...
despite it being
video games aren't
the
their
largest
market.
growing entertainment industry in the world.
but...
gaming's outstripped Hollywood years ago.
Gaming's for kids. That's how it works. Like, that's still the mentality, which I hate. COVID kind of helped, weirdly enough, when people were stuck at home and could do nothing else. They started gaming. It's like, oh, this is why people like this thing. Like,
Though my favorite thing that's come out of COVID is if you look on the Facebook Marketplace now, the amount of like gaming PCs and consoles and whole streaming setups, because over COVID they were going to be a top end streamer. It's like, no. And you're still trying to sell a PC that's 4 years out of date for top end money. No, it's not how that works.
I do love when people jump onto this kind of stuff. I'm going to be a breakout success. Like, no, I'm sorry, bud, you're not.
No, like, you're a bit of a cunt, and no one really wants to listen to you.
Pretty much, we just listen to us. We have a podcast for 3 years in the middle of COVID, and we are very small. We don't care.
I mean, we've said it before. We do this because we like doing it, not because we're like, we're gonna get rich.
Well, we figured, like,
I'm not gonna lie that if it happens, I'm not pushing back. If someone wants to make us rich off of this thing,
and thank you all for listening. It's just that if you weren't listening, we'd probably still be doing this anyway.
We would definitely still be doing it. If we weren't recording, we'd still be harassing each other on this thing. But, I mean, they make Kardashians rich. They could make us rich. At least we'd use the money for something fun.
Oh, yeah. Oh, definitely. We'd make the dumbest purchases. Guaranteed, without question. Give us a big pile of cash, stupid shit appears.
We will keep the economy going on our dumb shit alone.
I mean, come on. I don't have a backer. I just have my normal day job, and I still buy dumb shit.
Yeah, same.
One of the most recent things I've put my money down for is a gel blaster that's a full-on replica of the pulse rifle from Alien.
I do love that, though. That thing looks fucking great.
It does. It looks fucking amazing.
I did find out that gel blasters are legal in South Australia, so I'll be joining you in one of those very soon.
Yeah.
I'm currently in New South Wales, where it's a fucking nanny state. You're not allowed to have any fun.
Queensland, I think you can have them here. They got in a bit of trouble at one point. There's like, you need a gun license. Everyone's like, no, fuck you. It's a gel blaster.
Yeah.
So,
you can have gel blasters, you still can't get airsoft anywhere in the country.
No.
Yeah, no.
But if you go down to Victoria, you can just buy a crossbow over the counter with nothing.
Yeah, you can't do that here in Queensland, because
but you can go down and buy. You can go down and buy an 80-pound compound bow with no questions asked, with hunting arrows, everything. It's like
the main thing for Queensland is they want it to be, if it's a stabilizer, if you can stabilize the weapon. Then it's considered you need a license for it, which is why crossbows get caught in that, but bow and arrow do not. I don't know why I know this. Someone has told this to me like previously, and it's stuck in my head.
I'm pretty confident it was me because I wanted to get one when I was living up there.
Possible, not gonna lie.
I quite like archery, so I've got my good compound bow there. But
instead, we have a 3D printer that can just make things.
Yeah, I can make a trigger mechanism.
Yeah.
If we weren't admit to that on a recorded setup.
If we weren't on a watch list by now, I'd be disappointed in the ATO.
But yeah, I don't know. All these layoffs are as much as I'd like to say they're all bullshit. If you're part of that, you're probably the lowest hanging fruit in the company, and you may have had some quite a large overlap with other parts of the company they wanted to keep. So as long as they're paying out redundancies and actually playing it fair, not just you get fired and you get fired, everybody gets fired. Yeah,
but
I'm sure there's a reason for it.
That does get kind of ignored, I think, because everyone's like, it's just they'll get new jobs. Like, it's not just them finding new jobs, but the industry is so small. What happens to the next generation who are meant to be helping fix like existing issues who are now fucked?
But to me, 22,000 people over the entire Xbox game side of it isn't just we're doing this to cut money. This is okay, we need to cut out low-hanging fruit. This is a rather large layoff that isn't just we need to make money for this financial year.
If it was,
it feels more of a consolidation to me.
Move. Yeah, like honestly, it just feels like they're trimming the fat, but it's still a lot of people.
Oh yeah.
Oh, it is. Absolutely, it is. It's a ridiculous number of people.
Honestly, I wish they would stagger these kinds of layoffs. Not everything all at once, but like, all right, cool, we're letting go 100 at the moment.
No, they'll never do that because it'll just look like they're constantly hemorrhaging staff. They'd rather do it in one big block and then pretend they don't do that anymore.
22,000 people is almost a population in my hometown. It's like
it's a
8,000 people short. I
mean, the big question, because like they say it's across all of Xbox gaming division, that doesn't necessarily mean
game
developers.
devs. Yeah.
That could be marketing people, and we fucking hate marketing people here.
I'm okay with certain marketing people being let go. Yes.
Yeah.
Like it's
So
across
we
the
don't
entire
know.
thing, so.
We don't know like what the spread is.
It's
Like,
only
was it
that the
all
emails
game
from
devs
ActiBliz got released saying that there were 1,900 people from that particular company that we even know that ActiBliz was losing staff.
Yeah.
So 22,000 people is everything from console development, marketing teams, legal, like there's
Customer
a whole
service.
heap of
Like it could be any number of positions, but
Yeah.
it's still frightening to see that many disappear.
and
so-
the amount of
Yeah.
first party companies that or developers that Xbox now have that they've bought over the last few years. Like there only needs to be a few hundred from each or a few from each and you'll rack up numbers real quick.
Oh yeah.
Like how
Absolutely.
I don't know what the staff number is for ActiBliz for them to be able to lay off 1,900 people and still keep it as a viable company for developing the next fucking set of games that are coming out.
Yeah.
Like
has to be-
they cancelled one game, which was a survival game like all the others that are out there.
Yeah.
But that's the only game I've heard is being cancelled.
It's entirely possible if they've cancelled a few games or put them on like long hiatus, they might just be getting rid of like people associated with it for now because they can't fit them in other teams.
Well, that's the thing. Like, ActBliz bought loads of studios over time.
Yeah.
And incorporated them into their fold. So it's not that surprising that they could lose, almost 2,000 employees and still run.
Yeah.
Because, like, a lot of people just think of ActBliz as two companies.
Yeah.
Not.
No.
They've actually eaten a lot of studio. They're basically an EA, if you actually know about it.
They're a low key EA. Yeah.
Yeah.
They brought up a lot of intellectual property and that kind of thing. They were a powerhouse for a bit, but then they did dumb shit.
Unfortunately, they basically just go, "Oh, we bought a new studio. What do? You make COD maps.
Yeah. Like
Can we make our own games anymore? No, COD maps."
their mentality, I think, was if we get these really good like places, they'll make COD good. Like, no, it won't.
Well, arguably the best bit about COD for most people is the multiplayer. So
Yeah.
it seems like their gamble paid off
Yeah, pretty much.
because
But,
they
like-
grabbed people like Grey Matter Games and Raven, and those were studios that was renowned within the industry for their single player projects, and
Yeah.
now they just make COD maps.
So in all of this, like when when Microsoft bought ActiBliz, they got rid of Bobby Kotick, but in this layoff is included the head of Blizzard, Mike Ybarra.
Oh.
So it's not it's at all layers. It's not just like
Like
The
certain
lowest-
people at Blizzard needed to be let go from the higher
yeah.
echelons. Like they
Yeah.
were doing some fucked
Yeah.
up shit.
It wouldn't surprise me if that's how people like him got caught up in this. It's just like,
Yeah.
look, there's too much bad blood with you here. You've got
Yeah.
to fucking go.
It's like, we
Yeah.
can't keep you here much longer without catching some kind of bad press, and we're already getting rid of a bunch of the other stuff, so you can go with them.
Yeah.
Problem is, like, he'll have a golden parachute.
Oh yeah, without question.
Yeah.
well, he previously worked at Microsoft for 20 years in game development.
Yeah.
And then he worked for Blizzard when ActiBliz bought Blizzard. And yeah, now he's going, I'm out. Yeah.
Fair. But,
Do we want to move on to our, unfortunately, second depressing topic of the episode?
yeah.
This is arguably the shitter of the two. This is
But-
actually
This one has
like,
much
Okay.
further reaching consequences as well.
So, like I said, we're ripping the Band-Aid off. We're doing the bad stuff first. I promise there's some more
It does get
lighthearted
better.
stuff after this, but we're getting the bad stuff out of the way. So, just some background. Texas, as everyone knows, is a state that just loves fucking waving its dick around doing dumb shit.
Waving its guns and dick around.
Yeah, I know, right? It wouldn't surprise me if they'd replace their dicks with guns if they could.
They'd find a way.
either way they shoot. Hey.
Yeah. I mean, that's what I was... Beat me to the joke, man. So, what they did in some of the bigger areas that they're having trouble with water crossings, they started putting out razor wire in the water.
Yeah. At river crossings and that kind
So
of stuff.
yeah, under the surface of rivers, so people that are trying to swim across are going to get churned the fuck up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's so fucking
So it's
dickish.
built up in like a wall and then it goes down the bank and into the water. It's pretty fucked.
Yeah.
The Supreme Court basically went, yeah, no, you need to not do that. At which point Texas rallied its National Guard and went, yeah, we're going to keep doing this.
Things like, if it was a deterrent, I could understand them whole like staying up against it, but it's not a deterrent. You can't be deterred out of razor wire. Once you're in that shit, especially in water where you can't get purchased, you're in that. You're going to drown.
You can be deterred by looking at razor wire going, I'm not going to go into that.
Yeah, that's a good point, yeah.
But if it was,
thing, like,
if there wasn't a previous notice and it was just all under the surface, that would be fucking, that's war crimes right there.
Yeah.
But I mean, imagine if you were like, okay, so this is where we can get into the water to go across. Oh, look, there's razor wire on the bank. We'll just go over near the razor wire and then move along until we can get out.
Yeah.
Oh no, now if you get close to it, you're still in it.
Yeah.
And like, with the stuff that's happened, like, has there been confirmed deaths?
Okay. I've seen some articles quoting yes, including children, but I've not been able to find any like
Full
big outlets like BBC News or something.
Confirmed deaths, no. Confirmed fish food, yes.
Yeah. Like, it's fucked. Like, the entire situation there is not great, especially since, like, one state rallying its National Guard to go against a federal level thing saying stop doing the stuff is already bad, but it does get worse.
Yeah, it does. So at current tally, 25 other governors are backing Texas.
Yeah. That's a decent number. So, like,
governors are like elected state officials. So 25 of them is half the country.
Yeah.
Most likely the entire southern half of the country.
It's just very much the Bible Belt.
Like, we're going to have a straight out red versus blue civil war again.
Yeah. Honestly, that's how it's looking, because if they keep pushing back against the federal court saying, no, this is bad, you can't do this, and they keep pushing that, yes, we can, that's how it's going to end.
I'm curious if there's, like, if in the conflict it's going to be North America versus South North America.
North America just sounds like Moon.
There have been calls for Biden to take control of the National Guard. Technically, something the president can do
because they're a National Guard.
Yeah,
they're not a state guard.
But you know, the big question is: one, if he's going to do it, and two, if he does, will they listen?
Yeah, that's the terrifying thing. If he tries to do it, because I think that's probably why he's not doing it right this second. If he stomps in now and does the thing of like, stop it, National Guard, stand down, smack the governor, that means that governor becomes not a martyr, but a rallying point.
I don't think what they want him to do, I don't think they want the National Guard necessarily to out the governor of Texas.
Yeah.
But the governor of Texas is using the National Guard to do this razor wire stuff. So if Biden takes control of the National Guard, he won't be able to order them to do anything anymore.
The question is this considered treason in the US?
I don't know enough about treason.
Like, I don't know if it's stepping over the line, but it's like tap dancing on that fucking line. Like,
dancing
surely,
right on the edge. Like, it is right on that edge of being something
like,
that they can
you're not exactly selling state secrets to other people, but you're not exactly like for your own fucking state.
You are committing like crimes against humanity and saying it's your right to do so. Like, no, you don't get to do that. Like, because this is what it is. Like, honestly, I'm surprised the UN didn't weigh in for this one at some point, going, ha ha, what the fuck? And just swing their dick around, because they love doing that.
Yeah, but they're dealing with fucking Ukraine and Israel right now.
Yeah, probably this is the only time they could swing this without the UN getting involved, is because they're already tied up with Ukraine and Russia.
Well, so apparently they've been doing this razor wire thing for like a year now.
Yeah. But
It's
no
just
one
been,
realized?
Like, building. They've been realized, but like it's been building up.
Yeah.
The
started out
people
with
crossing
just,
that river realized.
Oh, fuck yeah.
Yeah. It started out with like, fences with like razor wire on the top, but like people could still get through a fence. And eventually they ended up with just these huge walls of razor wire.
Just at this point, absorb Mexico. Just make it part of the US forever. Be fine.
They already did that, and now it's called California.
That's a good point.
Like, A lot of them didn't cross the border crossed them, as it were.
Right. Let's petition for the Americas to be called the Canadas and just let Canada run things.
I don't know. Canada actually has a few more war crimes under their belt than the States.
Oh, yeah.
Actually, yeah, that's a good point. Like, the Canadians, when they go to war, they go to fucking war.
It's why they're nice the rest of the time.
Yeah.
To make up for all of the things they did.
They're going to save up all that hatred for when they need it. When they have to burn down the White House again.
Yeah.
Right,
Either way, it's a fucking dickish thing. Yeah, let's
we want
move
to get
on.
away from the depressing stuff.
Yes, please.
I'm
already sad. Come on.
So we're gonna have a bit of a chat now about Palworld. I mean,
Yes.
the thing
The
has,
phenomenon that is Palworld.
I think at last count it was at 7 million copies sold.
Yeah, it has
In 3 days, 3 or 4 days. Yeah,
less than a week. Like, it is.
it's
insane.
the second most played game on Steam at the moment.
It's getting
Over
close to being the first.
2 million concurrent players on Steam alone. That doesn't include the Xbox portion.
I wonder how many of those people only showed up for, haha, I can shoot a gun at essentially a Pokemon.
I imagine
I
a
know
few of
I
them
did.
I mean, it takes a while to get to the point of having a gun, but you can do that, yes.
I only asked that question.
Within the first hour, I could construct a bow, and I just went around and shooting Pokemon with bows.
Yeah.
That was it. I didn't even care for resources. I just cleared out an area.
So
I only asked that question simply because we've seen other Pokemon-like games. One I did shut up about a good while ago, Temtem.
it's a good game.
And-
Like, why would you shut up about it?
I know, right? And one Swoosh put me on to Koromon.
Mm.
They're both incredibly fantastic games that do
Yeah.
the Pokemon thing. I think we broke it down that Temtem's like the better version of everything they were doing up until Sword and Shield.
Yeah, when
and
they switched
Koromon.
to 3D. And Koromon's the pixel successor. Like,
Yeah, it's more like a successor to Ruby and Sapphire.
yeah. But they at least had the soul of the old
Yeah.
Pokemon games.
Absolutely.
Which Nintendo has. Let's be honest, they've lost that soul. It's,
Oh yeah, they sold that soul a long fucking time ago.
Yeah.
Which is depressing.
Mm.
So, like, but those games didn't blow up anywhere near like Palworld did.
Yeah.
And really, all Palworld did was go, do you want to shoot them?
Yeah.
Mm.
Like, do you want a survival crafty game where you can shoot Pokemon? Go for it. Like, to me, it's like I
they
get
made
Pokemon looking at it. I get why they're shitty, but
They
to
made
me,
an
it's more
open world
huntsman.
Pokemon Snap with rifles.
Yeah.
Let me actually fucking shoot the fucking things, not just throw apples at them.
Yeah, pretty much. But yeah, Nintendo's getting a bit miffed, as you would expect, to be honest. 'cause-
But
Yes. So
Nintendo wasn't getting miffed until the whole fucking online blow up about it. Like,
Yeah,
it's been in develop for several years. It had been announced quite a while ago, and Nintendo didn't say boo. They didn't say shit until a lot of the online community started saying, "This is fucking bullshit."
They outsold them. That's the problem.
I mean, part of that probably with the announcement and stuff is like they can't sue over catching monsters as a mechanic, as was rightly pointed out by oddly enough Swoosh while we were doing our preamble before recording. Some of those mechanics were actually lifted by Pokemon from Dragon Quest.
Yeah.
They did that system before them. So they really can't get shitty about catching monsters and having you fight with them.
Yeah.
Once the game had come out and been out for a while, it's kind of come out that an awful lot of the designs are
They're very
not just
similar.
similar. It's like you really didn't change very much at all. This is that Pokemon and this is that Pokemon. Like, come on.
But they're things
Which
that
is, I
you
think-
fix with an update, to be honest. Like, honestly,
Which is, I think,
I'm
what will
kidding.
probably happen.
Yeah, Palworld will just change the models for certain ones. Like, alright, they are now gone. What's your problem?
But also, like, I don't know how many Pokemon are in the fucking Pokedex now. It's like several hundred.
Something.
Like,
Yeah, there's so many of them.
how many designs are there fucking really before there's going to be some overlap?
Yeah,
There's only so many ways you can
churn
draw
the
a sheep.
fuckers,
There's only so many ways you can draw a rat. There's only so many ways you can draw fucking anything.
Which I think that saturation of the like Pokemon's like entire Pokedex is what's going to cause their downfall for this kind of lawsuit. If you
Yeah.
have that many things, it's like sure, but you've taken keys and made them into a Pokemon, so no one else can have a key creature now. Is that what you're saying? Are you going to get angry at them for that?
I think it's less that they can have a key Pokemon and more that if it's like oh, how did you change this? I changed one of the keys to look different.
Yeah.
That's all I did. Well, that's not enough.
Hmm.
Because there's one in here that I remember looking at that's it's a green monkey. And the only difference is it's... I know. But the only real difference is the hair's different.
Yeah.
That's not really different.
Like, honestly, when you look at Palworld, you do think Pokemon. I'm not going to say it doesn't. Like, I call them Palmon because my brain is built for that.
Isn't that what they're called?
No, they're just called Pals.
Oh, okay.
That is literally... I add the extra mon on because my brain goes insane.
I mean, everyone I've seen talk about this game called them Palmon.
Yeah. But it's one of those weird things as well because, like, it's... They don't have evolution. They gotten rid of that thing because that would have fucked them if they had that in, let's be honest. That would have given Nintendo so much leeway to go, haha, fuck you.
I feel like they definitely have been loading Nintendo's gun.
Yeah. Then there's like the first mod that came out was putting Pokemon in, which honestly I don't want.
But
I saw
how
the
quickly
mod, I just didn't want it.
but how quickly Nintendo took that mod down, but still hasn't pulled the trigger on taking on anything on the game.
They say they're investigating at the moment, which means that their case is not as stable as they would like it to be.
All they're doing is threatening to threaten.
Yeah.
Like, they haven't done anything yet. The only flashback has been from the player base.
Yeah.
And that's it.
I think the player base getting as vocal as they have against Nintendo has made them back down, because Nintendo has some shady shit in their history. It's like, if you want to bring this up, we can start going through the closet and pulling out the skeletons, guys. Like, the fan base has paid attention, and we do not forget. It's like a weird hive mind.
Like, the Nintendo fan base is as bad as the Sony fan base, just not as vocal against other things until something looks similar.
Yeah.
And
until
then
you anger them.
Yeah. Then the shit blows up.
It doesn't help that Palworld is what most Pokemon players have been wanting for years.
Oh, yeah. An actual, in-world, let me do the things I want to do.
Yeah.
I mean, I think probably also what's fueling some of the Nintendo boys' fire is the fact that Legends Arceus exists.
Yeah.
Nintendo got real close to the dream game, and then these guys rolled in.
Yeah, like, these guys fucking nailed it.
Because if they'd never done that, I think people would be like, oh, Palworld's the dream, and Nintendo's never going to make it.
Yeah.
So it wouldn't surprise me if some of these people are more heated, because it's like, no, Nintendo's really close. We don't need this kind of dilution
close.
Shit.
Yeah, because they were close with Arceus, and then what was the next one that came out? I haven't...
There's
Violet.
The latest ones we don't mention.
Yeah, like, they tried again and they failed. Like, they learnt nothing from Arceus.
It seems particularly that the failure with Scarlet and Violet, though, is also a hardware one.
Yeah.
Because that game runs like shit.
Yeah, it does. Which is great, because Palworld works perfectly, apart from the first week.
Well, that Palworld also
lack
isn't
of a
trying to run
quit
on the
button.
Switch.
What the fuck?
It was a feature. It was it was something that could only be on one platform. It was on Steam. It was a Steam exclusive quit button. But
so
yeah,
dumb.
that's fucking dumb.
Firing it up and being like, how do I exit this fucking game?
At the same time, that's only because we're playing on Game Pass, which is, I think, 2 versions behind Steam.
I don't care.
Yeah.
If you put your game out at all, you need a quit button.
Yeah.
It's not a patch in
you
later.
Must play forever. You are not part of the Palworld.
Yeah,
that's
some
it.
fucking epic storefront bullshit.
Yeah. Fucking hilarious. I had a good giggle when I first tried to log out, and was like, where is it? Why can't I leave? So I started playing it.
It's a SAO.
Yeah.
You can't log out.
Like, there are worse worlds to be stuck in, let's be honest.
I don't know, like, it just said to me that this game wasn't thought through, and it just made it seem more like a cash grab.
The weird thing is, like, we were talking about in the preamble, this company is kind of known for making these kinds of, like, switch-up games or rip-offs and that kind of stuff, and then ditching them. But this is the first time they've had a full success.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like, if they don't rally behind this and be like, fuck it, we are going all in on this thing now, then that, I think, will be a flash in the pan.
So they've shown their roadmap, and a lot of it's fixing things, which is correct.
Which is fair,
You've got a lot more feedback. And they've said that they want to do more islands, more pals. more stuff.
Well, currently you
like,
can't get to that big tree that's in the map. I tried, and I can't get to it.
So it's just a nebulous, we want to do more, but we're fixing things right now.
Yeah.
So it's like, that's not a roadmap, guys.
But it is also an early access title.
Which also gives me a lot of, like...
Yeah, like, we've been burnt by early access shit before.
Yeah.
The amount of money they've pulled in from this, they should be able to fucking do something with it.
Oh, definitely. Yeah. If nothing happens with it within the next, like, few months, then it's probably going to be a flash in the pan.
If they're going to bail, within this next week is when they'll bail. They'll take all the money and run.
Yeah, pretty much.
Outside of that, then there's more and more likelihood that they'll actually fix it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, like, this is interesting. This is the first time we've seen Nintendo scared, I think. Because this is someone who's basically copied their homework, but changed it enough and fixed the incorrect answers. Like, I don't
Not all of them, though.
that.
They've just
Not all
given
of them, some
different
of them.
answers. Slightly different answers.
Slightly different answers. But there's so many things that I love about that game, so many things that annoy the shit out of me. But I'm enjoying it, so I'm going to play it till the dopamine runs
I just
out.
love that they answered the question, can you catch other trainers in a Pokeball?
Yes!
Yes, you can.
Not only that, you can make them work for you. So, I caught one by accident, because I didn't know it was a thing you could do. And I caught a thug, and it's like, oh, can I use him to fight? Yes, you can. You can make him fight things for you. He'll get stronger. Or you can put him to work on an equipment line, so you can get him to make and craft things. But they're really shit compared to the pals, so...
Yeah, they may as well be cannon fodder.
So instead, I sell them to a black market dealer.
Or you can butcher them for
You're
resources.
doing slave trade.
Maybe. Maybe.
I think this is probably the other thing that might catch these guys.
Yeah.
Is like a lot of the game is kind of a bit animal cruelty, black market, slave shit.
Which is, like, to be fair, that's in most big survival games in a way. It's
I don't
one of
mean
those-
like, I don't mean the killing thing. I mean like the, catching people and selling them to a black market and slaving them in your
But then
production
where do you
line.
draw the line? You're putting the pals into slavery anyway.
I know.
It's also...
I'm just saying it's
It's
more to the forefront
Yeah.
in the presentation of Palworld. Yes, I know everyone's brought up but Pokemon's just dogfighting. Yeah, okay, but the presentation isn't that. Whereas Palworld does present that stuff as slaves.
Which I think, in most cases, like, because if you catch a human in Palworld that says, this is immoral, this is inhuman, don't do this, it doesn't stop you from doing it.
But like, if they wanted to get around that, you should have thrown the ball and had them go, no, it's immoral to do that.
Yeah.
But
they could have
Not
done
let
that.
you do it.
But that whole thing of like Pokemon is just dogfighting. Like boxing is just Pokemon. Like a trainer puts their monster in a ring and makes them fight another Pokemon.
You watched the short by Thor, didn't you?
Yeah, it is. And that's all it is. God fucking damn. I never thought about it till then. It's like, Jesus.
Although the fun thing is watching the internet go a bit crazy over like, oh, you kill and eat these things. Like, you do that in every survival game. The only difference is they're cute. Like, that's the big thing that's gotten to me.
Again, I'd argue the difference is presentation, not that they're cute. And I understand that between the three of us, we've all played the game. I'm the only one who had this happen, but the tutorials I got taken through when I started the game encouraged me to make a club and then start beating animals to death.
Yeah.
Not catch them and have them be my friends. So I had a presentational experience that was much more negative than John Doe's Swoosh. I have played more of the game and have mellowed on that opinion, but it's hard to break that initial...
The thing is, like...
This is what I got taken through?
Yeah, I think when you were playing it, because it's separated into two quests. One is, make the club. And once you have the club, it instantly changes to make a ball or make a sphere and catch a Pokemon. See, I'm even doing it now. Fuck. Catch a pal. But if they could have just folded that together in the same quest line of make a club to weaken a pal, catch the pal. And it would have been fine.
So if they'd actually stated weaken a pal, not just go out and beat a pal. Because, like, I got the club and the Pokeball thing, but I didn't realize I had to weaken it, so I just went around and killed everything anyway. And then it's like, why can't I? Oh, maybe if I throw a Pokeball while they're weak, I can actually catch
Well,
them.
that's the thing. Like, you can't.
I just
catch
kill
them when
everything
they're knocked
anyway.
out. Yeah, because
Yeah.
they don't appear to be dead. They just have weird passed
No,
out
they just
anime eyes.
they just ragdoll bouncy balls.
Yeah.
I think it's the fact that you get the chunks of meat off them that
Which
it's like,
you also
kill
get if you
them.
catch them, which is weird.
So,
so-
if you kill one and you roll it off a cliff, it bounces quite
It does.
well.
Especially the
It's
sheep.
pretty funny.
Yeah.
Pretty funny.
But like, it's one of those odd things, and I get why people don't like it in certain ways, and I get why other people do. It's a dopamine button for me. So, like, it's
Look,
odd.
saying all this stuff, I don't want to shit on anyone who's having fun with a game.
Hmm.
If you're having a good time with it, and you're not, particularly if you're not specifically playing this game to take advantage of the kind of questionable mechanics that you can engage with,
Yeah.
because you know there's someone out there who's just like, ah, I can murder cute animals and do horrific things to them.
Yeah. Like, I mean, honestly, when I found out you could catch people, my first line was, these guys are trying to shoot me on sight every time I see them. If I catch them, I'm putting them to work in a slave thing. Like, because I don't feel bad about attacking them. Like, there's other NPCs that just talk to you and sell you shit. They're great. But it's just, you go near these guys and they will try and murder you. It's like, I feel no remorse for you. You started this fight. I'm going to finish it.
Yeah. I think the road for Palworld is still not done.
Yeah.
No, it's still a lot of paving to go.
got some-
Currently, it's
Yeah.
a roughly hewn dirt road through the trees.
Honestly,
still a long
I
way to
don't
go.
think the developers for this expected this to happen. Like, I remember this
Who the
popping
fuck
up in my
would?
feed. Yeah, I remember this popped up in my feed like several years ago. I thought it was one of those scam games that would never come out.
100%.
Yeah.
And then it came out. And it's
Especially when they
surprisingly
showed
good.
off what dyed yellow Totoro with a machine gun.
Yeah.
It's like,
Uh,
no fucking way Ghibli lets you get away with that.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
it's like you look at that, and there's some people saying apparently it was all generated through AI and that kind of stuff. And in which case,
It's because Palworld has stated that all of their mods were created by one guy.
yeah.
And it's like, no fucking way you could design all of these. Just one dude designed all of these.
And then everyone just pointed at Stardew Valley and laughed.
Pretty much.
Yeah. And it was like, you
But
can't do
these
that
are
one
3D
person. It's like, you can.
No, it's one guy did the Palmon, not the whole game.
Yeah.
And arguably Stardew would have been easier due to the pixel graphic nature.
Oh, definitely.
I would have thought. I mean, as a 3D animator, you'd know making even a simple 3D model's a bitch.
Oh yeah, definitely. Half of these things are just reskins of each other. So once he made a bunch of presets and just changed the element, it would have been a lot easier.
Yeah, and a lot of
Problem
people
is, a lot of the
assuming that
presets look like Pokemon.
Yeah.
that's where a lot of the allegations coming from, that
Yeah.
they basically ripped Pokemon models and then used generative AI to alter them to make them copyright.
Yeah.
AI, give me Pokemon that aren't Pokemon.
So Digimon.
Yeah.
Honestly, like, if I don't want a Pokemon mod for Palworld. I understand what
No.
people do. But I wanted a Digimon mod, because all the things I've seen in there, so many of them align to Digimon very closely as well.
Oh, significantly more.
Like,
Especially
that's-
when, like, half of the Digimon can, like, shoot lasers and
Yeah.
missiles and shit.
If it was the
Seems like
guys-
such a better lineup.
Yeah, if the guys behind Digimon wanted to push for this, I could see a better lawsuit from them than I can
But-
from Nintendo.
Digimon always confuses the shit out of me. You've got a lizard that shoots missiles. How the hell do you reload your lizard?
You grow more missiles.
Like,
But what happens is his chest plate closes, he regenerates his nipples,
Yeah.
and then he can open it and shoot his nipple rockets again.
Fucking nipple rockets. Every time I see
I just,
that, it's like, God
I just
damn it.
picture taking it into the Digimon shop. Saying, I need to reload my lizard, and he gets left on the counter.
That'd be amazing.
It's like,
Comes back in, and then other smaller Digimon are just loading rockets
Yeah.
into his nipple cavities.
Well, the thing is, like, half
Okay.
the rockets that shoot out have faces on them, so they exist only to
so
be
they're
shot and
their
explode.
own little Digimon.
Yeah.
With their short little lifespans where they've generated in a dark crevice until the door opens and they're fired at something to explode. That's their entire life
They
cycle.
are digital mayflies. That's what they are. They exist for a very short second.
Come on. I think they're worse than a mayfly, because at least a mayfly gets to bang.
Yeah, that is true, actually.
Well, they get to bang too.
Significantly harder.
Shall we move on to our next topic?
Yeah, we might as well.
So, Sony's CEO says PlayStation's gaming future will be on PC, mobile, and cloud.
And
Who'da
the entire internet
fucking
laughed.
thunk it?
I mean, like, if you don't know, and I only found this out today, we're getting Horizon's second game, Forbidden West, in March on PC.
Yeah.
I thought we were going to be waiting another couple years before we saw that shit show
they
up.
They said mid 2024, I think it was. They did have a 2024 date on it, but they didn't have an exact date, and it's only in the last day or two they've actually put a proper date on it. But that, I think, from when they announced it to actually, when did it even release? Because it's only been a couple of years or a year or two.
My brain doesn't comprehend time.
I want to say it's a year.
I'm saying I think it's about a year, maybe a year and a half.
All right, give me a minute. I'm pulling up the Wikipedia article.
I'll put money on a year.
Let me say
it came out in release date was 18th of February 2022.
Ooh.
So that'll be just over 2 years.
Yeah.
From release, considering they said it would always be 3 years. That's already a fucking drop in that time.
To be honest, they needed to make this change. Like, they were the only ones that were still clawing at the console war, trying to make that relevant. Like, yes, we're the better console. Whereas everyone else is like, we're doing our own shit, man. We're not doing that anymore. Go do your own thing, okay?
As I said before, that they were the Japanese soldiers stuck on an island after World War II, saying the war is still going on. We're still fighting. We're winning.
We're winning this war. Like,
there's a very different war going on, and you're not involved at the moment.
They've been dragged kicking and screaming into the current age. Right, PC is the way to go. Like,
you've at least got to play ball.
Not specifically PC, but inter-platform. Like, PC is just a good middle ground because it's not Xbox. Like, that's also for why Xbox has gone to PC as well, because it's not PlayStation. It's an expansion of their current platform without it being a directly competing platform. It just means that PC is the golden land. Like, come here and you get the good shit from both.
Yeah.
I feel like I put it in our chat. It was a video I put in, which recontextualized the thing of Iroh teaching Zoku about the elements.
Yes, that was a good
game companies. And I'm like, I feel like more game companies need to understand that video.
They do.
Because, what was it? Xbox is your community platform. It's generally all about multiplayer. PlayStation's single player. Nintendo's your tech innovator. And PC's the freelance.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We accept all and play the best and most niche stuff.
Absolutely.
We're not your competitor. We're another place to sell stuff.
I think everyone had that understood except for Sony.
Yes.
There was still that mentality of, no, we're against all the other companies. Like, no, guys, you don't have to just give it to other people.
You can boost your stuff with other companies. Like, there's entire marketplace there that might want to play your shit that currently can't.
There's entire marketplaces begging to play your shit and currently can't.
Yeah, they currently don't want to buy your plastic box. I've already got a plastic box. Just let me play your shit.
Look, put it this way, if the entire Ratchet & Clank collection dropped on Steam today, I would be buying it now. It would be in the cart. Like, because I would never have to buy it again because another console dropped and I wanted to get that. Like, the amount of copies I have of Ratchet & Clank, I probably have more than that in most other games.
Well, that one that dropped on PC is the only Ratchet & Clank game I've ever played, and I actively went through and chased down all the little Chivos, and I thoroughly love that game. I would have enjoyed playing all the rest of them. I'm not going to buy a fucking plastic box to play them, though.
You know what the dumb bit is? Rift Apart was good.
Yeah.
I don't even think it's the best Ratchet & Clank game.
No, the Crack in Time, I maintain, is one of the greatest games they put out. That was a marvelous game. Really good story.
Like, where's that one?
Yeah.
Like, why can't we have that? I mean, that's probably one of the biggest problems Sony's doing right now. Like, they put out Uncharted, the fourth game.
Yeah.
Where's 1, 2, and 3, guys?
Yeah.
No, guaranteed they're going to drop on their console. Oh, we can play the old games on the console.
Like, you can. You can still play the previous titles there.
Yeah, they released a pack of 1, 2, and 3 on that, didn't they?
If I want to play those ones again, because I bought them on the PS3, I have to get the PS3 out. You can't update them. Like Ratchet & Clank collection I have on PS3, it doesn't exist for other things after. They stopped that bundle. It's like,
Didn't you
neat.
buy it on PS4?
Might be on PS4. It's one of the two.
Because I remember you bought me the copy of it on PS3.
I think there's another one we could get.
You can have the old shit one while I buy the new one.
I can't remember.
I remember, like, it was back when I was living with Swoosh, and I was unemployed at the time, and I was like, ah, damn it, the Ratchet and Clank collection's out, and I can't afford it. And then that evening, he just walks in and drops it on my desk.
Yeah. I'll happily pass more of the Ratchet and Clank to people. But yeah, no, it's one of those weird ones. I can't remember if it was PS3 or PS4. Somewhere along the line, I think it was PS3 as well. I couldn't get it on PS4. But yeah, they just didn't have that bundle again. It's like, cool, so I bought this thing I can only use on an outdated console that probably is bricked now because it can't update anything. And it can't connect to your PSN, which means I can't play anything because I can't verify my account.
But like, I don't know. There's quite a few old games I'd like to play on PlayStation. Just release them. Just give me something to play them with.
Give me all the God of War.
Yeah.
You don't even need to like remaster them. Just upscale them a bit so they look good on my monitor. I mean, you've already done it for the PlayStation re-releases of them.
Yeah.
Just give me all of God of War. I will absolutely play through God of War 1, 2, and 3 again.
Yeah. I will play these games. Just let me.
What about release a bit of software that runs like a Sony official fucking PS3, PS4 emulator with its own internal fucking store?
Yeah.
Like, just give me the option.
Like,
I'll pay your shit. Just let me play it on my thing.
Yeah.
I'll tell you exactly why people will rail against that. They'll have to make another account.
Yeah.
Drop it in Steam. I don't care.
Yeah. Like, I just want to be able to play the old catalog.
People have already got 100 fucking accounts. It's not going to matter having one more.
No, but like, it's actually turning into a real problem where people try to launch new services, and people are like, nope, I already have 100. I don't want 101. Go fuck yourself.
Pretty much.
It's actually becoming harder and harder to get people to make another account.
Sony said last year they want to produce their own launcher.
Yes, they have.
Like, it's already coming, so why not just drop your own emulator in it and let me buy your old fucking games?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, we want
Maybe
these
they will.
things, but I don't know if they're going to do them properly.
It's annoying because they've got the back catalog of just so many quality titles that they could just and bury Game Pass.
And like,
I hate to say it.
They've already got the store set up for it. Like, goddamn.
If Sony dropped back in and went, we're going to drop all of the PS1 games, the PS2 games, and maybe the PS3 games, they're all just part of it, straight day on dot.
Yeah.
They'd crush Game Pass.
Absolutely, they would. Just release that back catalog for people to play in, and you will have people lining up out the door. Because old Sony games were pretty good. Like, I don't hate it. I had a PlayStation. I still have a PlayStation. Because the game market was better. I was getting more out of it. At least for my tastes, more or less. So, but we can hope like this means we're going to get more interesting stuff faster on PC. But I still imagine they're going to be weirdly shit about it in some way.
Oh, I'm sure.
Yeah,
it's fucking PlayStation.
Yeah,
weirdly, I want to see what the fan base did at this like thing, where how angry they've gotten. Because Sony fanboys get angry at the drop of a hat.
Oh yeah. I think with all of this, I think it's likely to reduce the time that games come to other platforms.
Yeah.
But the chance of it actually being day and date drop on PC is slim to none. I don't think
might
we'll
get down to like maybe 3 to 6 months until like they switch.
I'm thinking.
happy with.
I'm thinking 6 months or first major content update, like major content release. That's when you'll get the release for it.
Which
which makes sense. Like that's a second spike in sales, and you've got a second spike for a whole new platform. To me, that makes perfect sense.
Yeah. The question for me is going to be, will they make a PlayStation 6 if they're angling more towards expanding the PC market?
Yes, they will.
Yeah, you'll get a PS6. You'll get a next gen Xbox. You'll still get several iterations of the plastic box you play games on at home.
Will we finally get an updated Wii? Oh, updated Switch.
Switch, fucking we better. I think the question will be how much functionality that box eventually has.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because if they set up these storefronts and they work out, I don't know if it'll be next gen, but eventually you'll get a box that has no drive.
Definitely.
Yep.
Yeah, I expect that with the next generation.
It plays solely on streaming.
Yeah.
Like,
Sorry. I don't think it'll go necessarily to streaming that quickly. I mean, like, no disk drives, nothing
At some
like that.
point, it will be. It won't. Definitely won't be
Sony
next
is
generation because you couldn't do that everywhere in the world.
Yeah.
It may be a digital thing where you download the game onto your console.
That's what I'm thinking.
But you won't have a disk drive. The next generation won't have a disk drive.
Yeah, I guarantee they won't have a disk drive. But if they do that, they had better use the space where a disk drive would have been for some decent sized solid states.
Several terabytes.
Yeah.
Or you make it fucking easier to put in my own one.
Yes. Absolutely.
I won't have to crack the entire fucking console open to put in a goddamn extra drive.
Yeah.
And not fucking proprietary drives. Let me put the drive I want to put into it. Like, let me put in a fucking 10 terabyte SSD. If I want to spend the money, put a 10 terabyte SSD in the motherfucker.
Yeah, I will do that. It'd be great.
Turn your drive bay into a hard drive hot swap socket.
Yes,
Yeah,
I'd be okay with that.
like they did for the Xbox One.
Yeah.
That you want to expand a drive, you plug any fucking drive you want in the back end of that. As long as it had USB 3, you're good to go.
Yeah.
Like, because that's all I... Like, if I had to buy something without a disk drive, I would happily do it provided I had that digital content. Or that space, essentially.
You almost want it like the old PS1, PS2, where you had the memory card, but I want to plug in a several terabyte drive, and so this drive is my install for this game. We're going to go back to cartridges is what we're going to do.
Oh no, we've been saying that for ages. I welcome the return to cartridges. The amount of space for a game that you could put onto an old 64 style cartridge now.
Yeah.
Oh, that'd be good.
One thing you've also got to remember is, like, all of those cartridges had, like, massive amounts of negative space in them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because the cartridge was designed as DRM. So most of the cartridge didn't contain anything. Imagine if we did them today. Not only are drives smaller, you could use some of that cartridge space and just be like, yeah, this thing has its own flash memory of like a couple terabytes.
Yeah.
That'd be great.
And all it needs to be is a stick for an SSD.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like an M2 SSD to slot straight in, click, done, off you go, there's your game.
That'd be great. Because it's getting to a point now where consoles just need to go back a step and build on what they had. Like, discs and everything are great, but...
Everything old is new again, yes.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing, like, we only went
Nintendo never let it go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, like, it's great that they didn't. We got the Switch out of it. The amount of game you can fit onto that little SD card, essentially, that's all it really is. But discs were good, but they can only hold so much until another iteration comes out, which I don't think will happen for a while. When you have things like cartridges, if you have the space, you can fill that motherfucker with so much additional stuff. You could make it so much better. And that might finally justify the cost of games again.
And if you create a cartridge that's already, like you said, has that negative space in it,
Yeah.
if you need more hard drive, you just put more hard drive in the cartridge.
Yeah. Perfect.
You know, it's not like back in the day where it was like, this cartridge, well, the chipboard in it's made by Nintendo, and we get it from them, and they put, 4 fucking meg on there, and that's it. That's all you got. Now you'd be able to be like, oh, we're going to do our own thing, and we're going to put all this in. We're just going to put it inside a cartridge that fits in your machine.
Yeah.
And we're just going to put extra storage in there because we need it.
Yeah. I heard someone yelling.
I know, right?
Sorry, that's my neighbors talking.
Oh, I thought it was like South housemate.
I know, right?
Yeah.
Thought it was me too.
It's one of those things where I think if anyone's going to do it, it will be Nintendo. They're going to look at the old stuff and be like, you know what? Let's just relaunch the Nintendo 64 or something.
Fuck yeah.
Like, just imagine the 64, but with beefed up mechanics and like a beefed up cartridge system. I'd be okay with that.
Only
Maybe not
if they make it. I was about to say, only if they make a controller that fucking makes sense.
Yeah, that thing was fucking weird. Like, that was like something made by AI before AI existed. Like, this looks like a hand might fit onto it, maybe?
Or, because I've been around that long.
That is true. Well, it's
Do we
been
wanna
guiding
get
us for
on to-
eons.
We want to get on to our last topic for this episode.
Yeah.
Yep.
So, the actor Pablo, and I have no idea how to say his fucking last name.
Schreiber.
Yeah.
Steve.
Who's the actor who played Master Chief in the Halo TV show, has said, if you don't agree with the helmet coming off in the show, you don't like our show.
Agreed.
And doubles down pretty fucking hard on the fact that they wanted to do something different and have a separation between John and Chief.
There isn't a separation. That's the point of the Spartans.
John is Chief. Like, he has, like, that is his personality of, this is who I am. I fuck up Covenant.
He was taken from his home, trained to be a fucking brutal soldier, essentially. And they only used them because the Covenant turned up. They were made to fight humans. They weren't made to fight the Covenant.
No, they weren't made to fight humans. They were made to decimate. Like, there was no fight in it. It was
they were meant to put down whole rebellions on their own.
If you read the books, like The Fall of Reach is a great book, and I definitely recommend reading it.
Yeah.
At one point, as their final exam, they are dumped into the wilderness on the other side of a planet, like their home planet, essentially, Reach, and told, you have a objective on the other side, you have to storm that stronghold and take that flag. And they drop them basically naked in the woods. They turn up in full fatigues and tack gear. And it's like, how the fuck did they get this? It's like, turns out they found one of our supply, caravans and just took it. Like, straight up took it. It's like, what happened? We found all the guys tied up. They're not dead. That's a bonus.
Yeah.
Just
like, they took the, like, there's examples all over the place of, like, characters that don't take a helmet off.
Yeah.
Like, we were going through this before. Like, Seth had a fucking list of them.
My three big examples are, of course, The Mandalorian.
Yeah.
It's one of the most recent ones. He does take his helmet off now and then. But 90% of the show, all the Mandalorians have their helmets on, and they are
and he takes them off for a reason.
Yeah.
Like, it's not just I'm going to take it off because I can take it off.
Yeah. And it's also one of those weird things where guys was like, you can't emote with the helmet. Like, they proved that wrong with just the Mandalorian.
So there's the Mandalorian. There's the entire actual Halo franchise where most people are pretty into the character and have never seen his face.
Yeah.
And guess what? He emotes perfectly fine.
Yeah.
I know when he's stressed out, when he's scared, when he's angry. Like, it all comes through.
If you can't emote in voice alone, then you've cast wrong.
Now, and my third example is, I think, is particularly good because the first two have the benefit of being a full physical actor and a digital actor that's animated by a quality animation team. Red versus Blue.
Oh, yes.
That could not control the animation of the thing. They had to use all the canned animations that were just programmed. And guess fucking what? They emote perfectly well.
So well. I occasionally still go back and watch the original series of Red vs. Blue. Like, the first 4 were pretty good.
But, they could have fixed it so well, like, as we were discussing, by just having stunt doubles as the actual actors to do all the physical shit and just a VO cast.
Yeah.
Like,
absolutely.
Just get the bloke who actually voices Master Chief in the games to just do the voice, and that's it.
And even better is the fact
anyone
that,
to do the rest of the shit.
Yeah, they've already done it, years ago. Like, look at the original Star Wars. Like, Darth Vader was just James Earl Jones' voice and a body double. That's all it was. Like, we know it works. Great. And it works perfectly if you can do it correctly. To me, I get the feeling, it's like, we have to take the mask off, because they got an actor who was well known for, what was that series he was in?
I don't think I ever could have told you what else he was in.
Yeah, no, I couldn't.
Yeah, whichever one. It's a thing that popped up recently. I'll remember it as soon as we finish the podcast, guaranteed. But it's like, we need to show his face. Like, you don't. You never have to show their face. It's fine. We don't care. No. We just want quality story, please.
This whole thing just screams exactly what they did with the Lord of the Rings TV show.
Yeah.
It's just, we don't give a fuck about source material. We want to tell our story. We just want to slap this label on it so people have some sort of reference to come and want to watch it.
Because I remember
because you fucked it, nobody wants to watch it.
I haven't watched all that Lord of the Rings series. I can't be bothered. I didn't get into it.
Yeah, no, I was not into that.
But I have friends who are massive fans of Lord of the Rings, and they hate that show. And the main reason they hate that show is it takes away from the original trilogy. Because originally, the original friendship of Gimli and Legolas was meant to be the first of its kind. Like, there was never meant to be any previous crossover. There's always meant to be, we hate each other. And then these two made, friends, essentially. Then The Hobbit came out, tried to bring a love triangle in with the Hobbit, with the dwarves and elves.
Yeah.
This new series, like, it turns out they've always been friends. Like, no. Elrond was an ambassador to them, sure, but he still hated them. Like, they did not like each other. It's weird.
But that's just current media. Everyone has to love everyone all the time, regardless of history. Everyone has to love people. That's it.
It's annoying because, like, one of the key things that's about the Halo franchise, which is they've slightly started to explore, the books have done it a lot more, is the kind of transhumanism dread that the Spartans give other people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a 9-foot-tall dude in armor who can sprint around a battlefield. It shouldn't function. They're supposed to be kind of creepy and off-putting, and humans aren't real. Like, they can be like, thank fuck he's here, but more in a, the fucking ultimate weapon's here. Not, oh hey, it's my buddy Chief.
The walking nuke has dropped.
Yeah, it's not meant to be here's just a guy running around. It's meant to be like warfare isn't just guns and explosions. It's looking at something and going, oh, fuck, I need to fight that.
Yeah.
Like, that's so much more of it.
Well, like, if you look at
everything about it is just screwy.
Taking the helmet off, you ruin that.
You ruin that.
He just becomes a dude.
Yeah. Absolutely. And there's, like, the whole thing of, like, Transhuman Dread, I only realized was a massive thing because I've been catching up on the Warhammer lore and that kind of stuff and that thing. But there were Helldivers in the Halo universe who trained to drop in pods to hit the ground and be safe.
Yeah,
a Spartan
ODSTs.
can just do that.
Yeah,
like
just for shits and giggles.
Games. Yeah, like I think it's the second game starts off with Chief just fucking head first into a planet.
Yeah. I think that might be the third one where he falls from a fucking ship.
In the second one, he gives them their bomb back and then he just sort of floats on down. Oh no, they pick him up. They pick him up.
He jumps between ships in the second one. The third one is when he actually hits surface and his armor just locks up, and they come in and is like, unlock the armor, and then just sort of gets up and so let's go kick some shit. And then he's back into it after falling to a fucking planet.
They also forget that the armor he's in is equivalent to a tank.
Yeah.
Like, in that gear, a Spartan can bench press a tank. It's terrifying. They are no longer human.
Yeah.
No. They are a one-person army. Yeah.
Yeah. They are essentially a tamer version of Space Marines.
Yeah. I think that's why I've watched the Halo show for some god-only-knows reason. I inflicted that upon myself.
We hate ourselves. That's why we watched it.
But the female one, whose name escapes me, she works really well.
Yeah.
Because she still comes up against the overload of what's going on when she takes out the suppression pellet. So she still gets that kind of like transhumanism feel of like, this person is now not experiencing things correctly.
Yeah.
Whereas Chief just sort of
goes with it. There's no down for it.
The one thing I am happy with it is they didn't give the female Spartans boob armor.
No.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I'm glad about that.
It's armor for a fucking reason. It doesn't need boobs.
Does it? In most cases, it ends up being a detriment, because if you have like molded boob armor, that just
it's a groove.
Any sword into that groove directly where your heart is. Like, it's bad.
That, and it clearly signposts you as a target.
Yeah.
Part of the idea of uniforms and stuff like that in a military setting is it makes you kind of all an amorphous blob.
Yeah. It's hard to pick someone out.
When it's like a bunch of guys, girl, it's really obvious.
Yeah.
You need that wall of everyone's in the same kind of armor.
You need uniformity. It's how it functions. Because I think it was Vietnam, the whole thing of if you were on the battlefield, you did not salute your superiors, no matter how much you were trained to in boots.
Well, it's the same as the radio operators in Vietnam. They said they had an average life expectancy of 5 seconds after the shooting starts. Because they had a big pack on their back. It was obvious to see, and they're usually standing next to a commander. So they got hit first. They couldn't call for reinforcements, so they hit everyone around them.
Yeah. It's a weird thing. If you silhouettes are a thing that we look out for as a human species, and if the silhouette's different, the brain goes, that one.
Yeah.
So I'm not going to say there aren't some good things in the Halo show. They're just significantly smaller.
Oh
than
yeah,
all
they
the
don't
shit
make
got
up
wrong.
for all of the shortcomings.
Yeah,
Because
it
God
wasn't
fucking
a
damn,
Halo
there's some
show.
shortcomings.
It was just a generic sci-fi series that they slapped a skin on, essentially.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
they just
it
slapped the
felt
name
like
on the
it.
front of generic Super Soldier show.
It felt
They have-
corporate as fuck.
They have gotten a new showrunner for the second season, so it like, a little bit better.
Yeah, but it's like one of those things, like the most recent Star Wars trilogy. The same kind of thing happened where they changed the showrunner, and the second guy is left with whatever the first guy had.
Oh yeah, try to clear up the mess.
Yeah, like with the Star Wars one, it was like the first one was then the second one was absolute dog shit. Then went back to the first guy, and he had to clean up mess again. It's
I mean,
just,
you can't unfuck an egg.
yeah, absolutely. It's very, very dangerous. Not dangerous, stupid. But I don't like the Halo show. Even as a show on its own, I couldn't get into it. I watched it all, and I didn't like the characters. I hated that chick who was with him. She annoyed the crap out of me.
Terrible.
But, like-
the fact that one Spartan somehow escaped and is now a drug smuggler was interesting, but they didn't really do anything with it.
Yeah.
Also, he somehow left with the armor, and they didn't have a tracking device in that thing, which is a massive oversight.
But the whole thing, like, his chat out says, if you don't agree with the helmet coming off in the show, you don't like our show. Who is your show for then?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because it's not for the fan base.
Absolutely.
You're not going to pull in new people for it because it's just a straight out generic sci-fi action.
And anytime someone who isn't a fan asks a fan, should I watch Halo? They're just gonna say no.
Yeah.
No.
Our
Go and
first
play
thing
the
is
games, read the books.
read the
That's
books,
it.
play the games. There is basically a movie on YouTube of just all the cutscenes. Go and watch that.
Yeah.
You'll get more out of it than watching that current TV show.
Pretty much, unfortunately.
Yeah, it's fucking screwy. The sooner Hollywood steps back from shows like this and
Yeah.
like IPs like this and just starts going, okay, they already have source material. Let's look at that. Let's just do that because it's already a thing.
We
The
also
better
need
it will
more-
fucking be.
We also need more Henry Cavills. Like,
Yeah.
actors who love the thing they're playing and will push the back on the writers going, no, they don't do this. Because that's what he was doing on The Witcher. And I'm guaranteeing it's half the reason he's no longer there. They're like, no, we don't want to. The writers are getting angry. It's like, get better writers then. Fuck. Get the guys who actually did, The Witcher. Get them in. But, yeah, we need more of that.
The problem,
kind of
without
thing.
that pushback, you're going to end up with more Velmas.
Oh,
Yeah.
fuck. That travesty.
That's
Oh, God.
that's an actor just saying yes to writers, pushing their own shit, and yeah,
No, that's not an actor saying yes to writers. That's an actor saying, fuck you, do it my way.
Yeah. Because, like,
Yeah.
that entire... We could probably spend an entire episode just bitching about that show.
We
alone,
have
'cause it was-
in the past.
Oh, yeah, we
Yeah,
did. I repressed it.
I don't even watch a lot of TV or movies, but I've seen bits here and there, and the little bits I've seen are enough to go, fuck no.
Yeah, it's bad. It's not worth watching.
It's the worst reviewed show on Rotten Tomatoes for a good fucking reason.
Which I'm guaranteeing they're now going to come out and say, oh, no, we wanted that. That's what we're going for.
You just don't get it.
You just don't get
Yeah.
our humor.
We wanted no fan base. It's like,
Yeah.
okay, you made the show for no one.
We wanted
apparently.
to piss off as many people as we could. Okay, well, you did that. What did it achieve for you? Nothing.
Yeah.
We pissed off a lot of people and ruined our own career. Excellent. I'm okay
We-
with this.
We wanted to spend several $1 million producing several episodes of a show that nobody wants to watch. We just wanted to do that.
Yeah.
Like, well, why not just give that money to someone else? Like, god
Anyone
damn.
else. I would have been fine with you giving that money to charity as opposed to what you were doing. Like, it would have at least done some good. Fuck.
Like, I mean, you needed seven episodes of a half-hour length time of mostly pointless drivel. Give it to us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fuck.
I'm
give
pretty
us
sure
some-
we can make
Fucking
that
up.
happen.
They could have made a better they could have made a better show on nothing but thoughts and prayers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Honestly, I would really happily be that person in a boardroom with this like rolled up newspaper or a bottle squirter, like water squirter, just like no bad, squirt people.
Yeah.
Just be reality checks for writers.
I'd want to replace the water in that squirter with acid.
that yes,
No.
it's water with lemon juice in it. No, The acid comes out when they keep doing
highly concentrated lemon juice, so there's no water. It's just straight out burn your fucking face off. No.
Just lemon essence. That's all it is. But you kind of need that. Every one of these kinds of existing franchises who's getting a movie or a TV show needs a panel of fans that you have to pitch to.
Or at least the original writers or people that are
I don't
something
necessarily
of
think
it.
you need fans because fans... Like, as a fan of stuff, I don't always know what I want.
Oh, no. You want fans, not fanatics. Like, everyone's like, oh, the fan base. The fan base are the fanatics of things. We are fans and stuff in the way that we care about certain things, but we're happy to let other shit go.
It's more that, like, you need to understand why people like things.
Yeah.
And if you're going to spend your entire time railing against that, maybe don't do it.
Yeah. Like, maybe this is not the franchise for you. Find something else to slap onto. Like... On the plus side, I've been seeing trailers for a few adaptions of other things recently that look okay. The new Avatar Netflix show doesn't look horrible.
The only problem I have with that is that Zuko looks a little too young.
He does. But Zuko in the series was meant to be 16, I think, was he?
Yeah, but because of the kind of hard life he's had, he's got a lot more of that, like, I'm kind of more of an 18 appearance.
Yeah.
So,
pretty much.
While they might have a correct age actor, it's like, he's a little baby face.
A little bit.
Like,
at least
they're going to have to
drink
try
too.
really hard to fuck up M. Night Shyamalan's.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I mean, all they have to do is have Iroh drink tea and it's already better.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's perfect. But they did the characters well. Like, the most recent trailer shows a bit of interaction between Sokka and...
They already have the scripts. Just follow the script that's already done. That's it. There's already a show. Just follow it.
They kept Sokka as a snarky prick, like just that because the few things I've seen, he has the snark and the wit. It's like, yes, that's what he was good for.
Yeah,
and Aang is still a child.
Well,
like
he's meant to be a humanizing element. He doesn't have any elemental power. He is just a person with a boomerang.
I still love the screenshot someone took of all the benders attacking. I think it was Iroh or Zuko. And you see the boomerang in the air as well. Go boomerang!
Well, I mean, if you look at all of the character shots that Netflix has put out, you know, Aang with all these airbending powers, and Zuko's producing fire, and Katara's got the water, and then they show Sokka, and it's just him kneeling down with boomerang.
They got it right.
They know what he's about.
That's it. That's all they need to do. That's the essence of the character. And in about a season or two time, they add one more post and it's just cabbages. Just smashed cabbages.
Yes. Perfect.
Well, we're out past now, so I think we can round things out for the week.
We have rambled pretty well.
Yeah, I was a little worried we didn't have enough topics for this episode. Should not have been worried.
We didn't have to fall back on biscuits.
Yeah, we had it in the pipeline. There was
we had a backup biscuit rant, but we did kind of do like 30 minutes on food last week, so it was sort of like keep it in case. But
We're really not a food podcast. We don't just talk about biscuits.
I swear. One day.
But, yep, I think that'll round us out. Y'all have a good one.
Bye.
See ya.